Do these creatures come in your nightmares before the exam? If yes, let me show you how to tackle them. Today we are going to do resting membrane potential. My name is Yogita and you are watching Yogi Logic. So let's start with resting membrane potential. Here you can see a neuron and the plasma membrane of this neuron. If we zoom into a small area of this plasma membrane, we will be able to see the phospholipid bilayer. On the inner side of the plasma membrane, we have the cytosol, and on the outer side, we have the extracellular fluid. Like most other cells in the body, the plasma membrane of excitable cell exhibits a membrane potential, that is a voltage across the plasma membrane, as you can see in the figure. Now in neurons, it is called as the resting membrane potential. The production of action potential or nerve impulse, as we say, is based on the existence of resting membrane potential and the presence of specific types of ion channels in the plasma membrane. In living cells, the flow of ions constitutes the electric current. Resting membrane potential exists because of a small buildup of negative ions in the cytosol along the inside of the membrane and an equal buildup of positive ions along the extracellular surface of the membrane. Such a separation of electrical charges is a form of potential energy which can be measured using a voltmeter, like this. In neurons, the resting membrane potential ranges from -40 to around -70, typical value being from -70 millivolts. Note that there's a minus sign. Okay, the minus sign indicates that the inside of the cell is negative relative to the outside. Notice in this image, the buildup of charge occurs only very close to the membrane. The cytosol and the extracellular fluid elsewhere contains equal number of positive and negative charges and is electrically neutral. So let's take a look at this diagram. Now starting with the extracellular fluid, we can see sodium over here, the green color spheres with a positive charge, and chloride ions, that is having the yellow color with negative charge. Along the plasma membrane, we have the potassium leakage channel, the sodium leakage channel, and the sodium potassium ATPase. Coming to the cytosolic part of the cell, we have the phosphate ions, the proteins, both of these which are the anions that are present in the cytoplasmic side of the cell. And the most prominent positively charged ion is the potassium ion. So let's see how this resting membrane potential arises. There are three major factors for this resting membrane potential. The first factor is the unequal distribution of ions in the extracellular fluid and cytosol. As we can see, extracellular fluid is rich in sodium ions and chloride ions, and cytosol is rich in potassium ions and other dominant anions like phosphate attached to the molecules such as ATP and amino acids in case of proteins. The plasma membrane typically has more potassium ion leak channels than sodium ion leak channels. The number of potassium ions that diffuse out of the cell into the extracellular fluid is greater than the number of sodium ions that diffuse down their concentration gradient from the extracellular fluid into the cell. As more and more potassium ions exit, the inside of the membrane becomes increasingly negative and outside of the membrane becomes increasingly positive. Another factor that leads to negativity of resting membrane potential is the inability of most anions to leave the cell. They cannot follow the potassium ion out of the cell because they are attached to non-diffusible molecules such as ATP and large proteins. The third factor for the existence of resting membrane potential is the electrogenic nature of the sodium potassium ATPase. Membrane permeability for sodium ion is very low because there are only few sodium leak channels. But still, some sodium ions diffuse inwards down their concentration gradient. If left unchecked, such inward leakage of sodium ions would eventually destroy the resting membrane potential. Sodium potassium ATPase actively expels 3 sodium ions out of the cell for each 2 potassium ions imported inside the cell. Since the pump removes more positive charges from the cell than they bring into the cell, it is called as electrogenic, which means it contributes to the negativity of the resting membrane potential. For more detailed information on sodium potassium pump, do check out this video. I have attached the link to this video in the description box below. So let's solve some questions that have appeared on this topic. Also, can you like and subscribe to my channel if you have liked my explanation? So let's solve a question on this topic. So this question has appeared in December 2011 for 4 marks. A nerve impulse or action potential is generated from transient changes in the permeability of the axon membrane to sodium and potassium ions. The depolarization of the membrane beyond the threshold level leads to sodium plus flowing into the cell and a change in membrane potential to a positive value. The potassium channels then opens, allowing potassium to flow outwards, ultimately restoring the membrane potential to the resting value. The sodium and potassium channels operate in opposite direction because the first option here is there is an electrochemical gradient growth generated by proton transport. Second, there is a difference in sodium and potassium concentration on either side of the membrane. Third, sodium is a voltage gated channel whereas potassium is a ligand gated. Fourth, sodium is dependent on ATP whereas potassium is not. Now if you see this question, okay, the first 5 lines of this questions, the first 5 lines are basically the definition of action potential. And the last part which is there is the main question. That is, the sodium and potassium channels operate in opposite direction because. So let me tell you that we have covered resting membrane potential and this question has been portrayed to be a part of action potential. But with the knowledge of resting membrane potential, that is by knowing the fundamentals, right, you can attempt this question. Let me tell you how. When we talk about any ion channels, okay, whether it is the leakage gated ion channels or whether it is the voltage gated ion channels, the movement of ions will always depend on the concentration of the ions on either side of the plasma membrane. If the concentration is high on the outer side of the membrane compared to the inner side, the movement is always going to go from higher to the lower, okay, and that is the law of diffusion also. Okay, so whether it operates in action potential or resting potential, the movement of ions will always be because of the concentration difference that is there. Okay, so the answer over here is there is a difference in sodium and potassium concentration on either side of the membrane. Hope I have managed to tackle at least some part of your nightmare. Thanks for watching. All the best. Do like, share and subscribe to my channel.